If you don't have a website for your business, then stay tuned, because in this video I'm going to share the reasons why you would benefit for having your own website. And stay with me right to the end, because I'm also going to give you a big tip on how to make your website even more powerful. I'm Laura Bean and this is Creative Little World. I understand that in today's day and age we have so many places we can manage our business from. Especially in the freelance community, social media plays a huge role in running and promoting our businesses. But I'm still surprised to find out that a lot of people don't have a website for their business. They rely on their social media platforms to promote themselves and to gain new clients. Now, this isn't to say that method is not effective. However, if you don't have a website for your business, you are missing a huge opportunity. Let's start with why it's so risky to rely on social media as your sole business platform. You have no control. And I don't mean about the content that you put out or how you manage your channel, but the overall platform. It is not yours. Think of it as building your sandcastle in somebody else's sandpit. They could knock that down at any moment and you have no say or control over it. Look at Twitter, now known as X. People were reliant on that platform, and the changes that came in really affected their business and they could do nothing about it. Social media also changes its algorithms regularly, so sometimes your business may be performing really well and the next minute it's not getting seen at all. What's more is that it can be taken away from you without any good reason. I know loads of pages that have been closed, leaving the user completely baffled as to why. This quite often results in a very long process trying to get your channel back, and quite often it doesn't happen and you can lose everything you've worked really hard for. Let's move on to the content that you're creating. When you have a website, it is yours, you own it. You can put whatever you need to on that site. No one can swoop in and take it away from you. It is yours to control, it is yours to manage, and it's a permanent base for your content. Now, I had a client who produced so much great content. They were constantly churning out articles for publications to use. They were creating regular landing pages for specific projects. They were constantly creating content for video and email. And I couldn't for the life of me work out why they didn't have a website to host all of this information on. It felt like we built loads of content over the time we worked together. They would have made wonderful blog posts, articles and contents for their own website, which would have given them a very strong brand and trusted presence online. This is the same for you. If you're creating content for your social media, why not put it on a website as well? Every time you write or put out a video, what if you hosted that on your own website? This would massively help drive traffic to your business. Your website can work really hard for you. Now, I know a lot of people don't know what to put on a website, so they dismiss the idea and head straight for the social media platforms. But like a fine wine, websites get better with age, and the longer that your website is there, the more it's going to get picked up organically by search engines such as Google. So that article you wrote a year or two ago and put on your website will be working while you're not even aware of it. I've had clients come to me through blog posts I wrote over 2 years ago. That content is still out there and working for me. Because it's hosted on my website, it brings them into my world. Once they're there, they get to know more about me. It builds trust, it builds credibility. Your social media platforms have an element of this, but they don't have the full story. Now, I know what puts a lot of people off is the cost and lack of understanding about how to put a website together. Now, cost needn't really be a factor, because these days there are some great website building platforms. Sites like Squarespace and Wix will build a website for you pretty instantly, and it will look professional, it will have all the elements you need, and you'll pay a subscription starting from around £16 a month, which really isn't that bad. Because of the web building platforms, you don't have to worry about being a web designer to create a website. If it is in the budget, then hiring a web designer to make a really bespoke, custom-made website is brilliant. But if not, all these platforms are fantastic for getting your website up and running. Now, probably the biggest argument I come across is the idea that people don't know what to say on their website. How do they write a website? But the key to remember is your website doesn't need to be perfect to launch. If you have the basics in place, it can be a work in progress. And once it's there, you can keep building and adding to it to make it even better. But if you're really stuck on how to write the best content for your website, check out the link in the description because I've got something that's really going to help. So there you go. If you don't have a website, I would strongly consider it. It's going to help you look professional. It's going to build your credibility and trust. And despite the way the world is changing with things like AI, people still trust a website and they often look for it when they're buying from a business. It's also going to give you so many options in the future if you decide to do digital products or courses. All of these things can be sold and hosted on your website. So at the beginning of this video, I promised I would share a tip with you, which would give you a real edge on your website. And that tip is to make your website about your audience. Make sure you're talking directly to them and write in a way that reads as though you're talking to them. Use words like you and yours. So as that person is reading, it feels like you are talking directly to them as an individual. They are more likely to realize that they are in the right place, you are the right person for them, and they are going to take their inquiry forward. But as I've said already, if you need more help with this, check out what I've put in the description below. I hope you found this video helpful, and please do subscribe because I will be sharing a lot more information that's going to help you build your freelance business. I'll see you soon.